Greetings from Shanghai, China, and welcome everybody to a very special announcement for Hearthstone Heroes of Warcraft. My name is Frode, and I'm joined by TJ, one of my casting partners in crime. How's it going, TJ? How are you enjoying China? First time here.
It's been great. Yeah, it's been great. I'm super excited. It's that time of year again. I know in ancient times, the cavemen would gather around and wait for the seasons to change, but for us Hearthstone players, we wait around and we wait for the new cards, the new sets. So I'm really looking forward to what's in store.
Yeah. So for any people who are watching right now live or even on VOD to catch it, you're watching the countdown. So in about 19 minutes or less, we're going to have the official reveal of what's coming next in Hearthstone. But for now, we figured we actually fill up the dead time with some pre-show talk to just update people who haven't been filled in with what Hearthstone has to offer so far. So for people who are tuning in right now, the year is 2016. It's the current year. And so far, we have 6 content pieces that's accompanying us with the Classic set. We had 3 adventures and 3 expansions, TJ. And a lot of speculation is that we're going to get another adventure based off the way the standard rotation was announced. That we would get an expansion at the beginning of the year, followed by an adventure and an expansion to close out.
Yeah, it's kind of a good pacing of content. You know, we get the expansion, which just gives us a whole bunch of cards at once. And then, of course, we get the adventures where you have a little bit of solo play. You know, you can actually adventure through the different wings of whatever instance or whatever it may be in Hearthstone.
Yeah, it's a diversified amount of content. We had Nax Ramus, we had Blackrock Mountain, the League of Explorers, 3 very different things. We've had like sort of that raid boss-esque element where you were able to go through Nax Ramus, kill Thazad, and then go through Blackrock Mountain, reignite that Ragnaros rivalry with Nefarian. And then we had League of Explorers, which came out of nowhere, and that set the bar really high. I think one of the questions that a lot of people are thinking about with Adventure is, can Blizzard match the amount of ingenuity as well as fun, and also the reinvigoration of the metagame when League of Explorers came out with Reno Jackson, Elise Starseeker, Brand Bronzebeard, and Sir Finley Merkelton?
Yeah, it was sort of meta-defining cards, and it's really cool to see it. It seems like Blizzard's just getting crazier and crazier, too, with the amount of mechanics and some of the cards that have been introduced. Even if we just go right back to Whispers of the Old Gods and look at Cthulhu, which was an interesting card where it's sort of the first thing where you have to build a deck around it. It's forced to. And then you go to sort of the extremes and Yogg-Saron. You know, that's such a crazy effect. It's a game-changing effect.
Crazy is one way to put it, DJ.
Yeah, but it's a lot of fun. And I think that's what I'd like to see is, moving forward, just some of those, maybe one card per expansion, one card for adventure that just shakes everything up.
Yeah, the one card that everyone loves playing but hates to lose against, but they also can't be too mad because it is a lot of fun at the end of the day. I think the Golden Monkey was that in League of Explorers, and we see a lot of that with Yogg-Saron in recent times. And nowadays, we see the meta is actually kind of diverse. I know a lot of people are still looking for some of those other classes. I think when they're looking at this adventure, one of the classes that people will be looking at heavily is Priest. Yeah. Can we get some cards here? What do you think Priest really needs right now in the metagame, TJ, for people to see this class be more prominent on the ranked play?
I think just ways to come back in the game when they lose the board, you know? That's sort of the iconic Priest weakness at the moment. We look back, Priest is actually, in Wild, one of the strongest classes.
It's actually pretty strong, given that
it's ridiculous.
Has access to some of those old cards, not just Light Bomb like the class-specific cards. Dark Cultist comes to mind as well. Sure. But you also have access to some really strong neutral cards like Zombie Chow, Deathlord, things that did rotate out when Standard came into play earlier this year. And Priest is one of the classes that people say, you know, the metagame is actually very diverse. You have a lot of warrior builds. Druid also has multiple builds with Cthulhu and the token Druid. You have Shaman also coming out with multiple builds. Where's all the Priest availability? Or even Paladin. Paladin's also missing a couple of key components, too, to really make their archetypes very viable.
Yeah, boosted forward. You know, Priest, a lot of times, though, Priest in the past has sort of gained their strength on the back of neutral cards. Right. Deathlord was one of the staples in Priest for so long in most of their decks. So, maybe not even look out for Priest cards, but I'm looking at more some of these neutral cards that might shake things up a little bit for Priest. And, you know, maybe even for the control styles of Paladins, but who knows? It's anything goes when new Hearthstone cards are on the horizon.
That's right. The classes that I want to see specifically, not just Priest, to get some benefits here. I mean, the whole point is that in Hearthstone, in our card game with 9 classes, it's kind of like a totem pole. It's really difficult to have everyone all at the equal power level, and so as a result, it shifts. Just one expansion to go prior to Whispers of the Old Gods, Paladin was on top, and we couldn't get rid of Paladin no matter what. All of a sudden, Paladin falls on the bottom, and before that, Shaman wasn't anywhere to be seen, and now Shaman's everywhere. So I want to see Rogue be able to play things besides the miracle aspect of it. I think when we lost the Tinker Sharpsword Oil back with GVG rotated out, or Goblins versus Gnomes, it felt like Rogue really is pigeonholed into this one type of archetype where you play Gadget Stand Auctioneer, try to play a bunch of spells and draw your entire deck. And there's all kinds of cards that just feel like it's missing something, TJ, to make it all come together. Rogue is just a jack of all trades, master of none, and you really need to be a master of a trade in order to be a viable deck.
They have so many fun cards out there that are sort of underutilized, and I like to see a card that just brings it all together. There's been some archetypes like Mill Rogue that have popped up over the course of it. I don't know if that's ever going to get some love. I don't know if that's on Blizzard's horizon at all.
Some tempo variants as well, where you try to climb on board very fast and try to push your opponent out of the game. But I want to see Rogue get some love, and I also would love to see some more Mage love. And I know a lot of people are going to be already on the fence. They see decks like Freeze Mage, which always seems eternal in Hearthstone, where you freeze the board, burn your opponent down, or even the very fast tempo Mage that gets on board very quickly, and you leverage your spells to get on board. But where's the control elements of Mage, where you play a lot of like long, grindy, where you're able to use a lot of like cool decision making to use all these spells at your disposal? I really love those kinds of decks, and I would love to see Control Mage make a strong comeback.
Strife Crow is somewhere out there right now thinking, what are those guys talking about? I've been doing that for years, but it's going to be interesting to see. Mage is a deck that a lot of times is chock full of spells. Maybe some Mage minions. Who knows? It's that would be some interesting. I can't even think of any Mage minions off the top of my head that would make the deck better, but just something fun.
Yeah, because I think Mage is right now centered around a lot of spells, and it's very clear that they're trying to gravitate towards spell control. If you look at the recent cards that they got, even just the past 3 content pieces, you have Flame Lance, Arcane Blast, Forbidden Flame. All these things do damage to minions, and they're really trying to avoid giving them more burn cards. So that's kind of the weird, interesting spot Mage is in, and as a result, it's kind of in the middle of the pack. Not really a dominant class per se, but it's still in there. Another one of those classes too is Hunter. I think a lot of people are looking at Hunter and they're very scared about its potential. They look at Call the Wild and they say, this card is absolutely bonkers. If you've never played Hearthstone and you look at Call the Wild, you say, oh, that's pretty fun to summon 3 animal companions. It's just insanely powerful. And a lot of people are scared because if you give Hunter some good cards, all of a sudden it might launch to be one of the best classes again in Hearthstone, because right now it's still about 5th or 6th.
Yeah, and there's been a lot of players trying to make those Hunter decks viable. It's basically just plug and play. You start with the 2 Call of the Wilds, and then you build all the other cards around it. So if you hadn't had a chance to make a Hunter deck with Call of the Wild in it yet, you probably should get on that train, at least in the next, 15 minutes or so, before we might see some new cards that might eclipse those.
That's right.
Eclipse the Call of the Wild.
Yep, today we're going to have the announcement and reveal, as well as some extra goodies for you guys. Obviously, it's not just going to be a reveal of what's happening, but also a few cards for you guys to look at, as well as some important stuff too, some dates. So it's going to be really exciting. Hope you guys are letting each other know. Make sure to get them. This is the only English stream, twitch.tv/PlayHearthstone. So tweet out at people at PlayHearthstone and get people into the stream immediately. We're about 10 minutes out before the actual reveal. I do want to also talk a little bit about some of the other classes that are currently on top. People are looking at Shaman, Druid, and Warlock, and Warrior, and all of them having one thing in common, is that there's multiple ways to build them.
Yeah.
What's been your favorite card in the past set or two that you feel like should be a card that Blizzard continues to develop upon?
I don't know. That's actually really tough to say, because some of the cards that have been really popular have been cards that you sort of are forced to build around. You look at Cthulhu, you have to build around it. Reno Jackson even. You don't have to build around it, but in order to play that card, you have to build your deck in a certain way. Only 1 card per thing. So I feel like there's a lot of room right now. There's not a single card that's dominating any individual deck. Yeah. And I know you're smiling because you're looking at me like, Shaman has some fringe cases. Tuskar Totemic has been.
Card's nuts, man.
Yeah, it's been a little bit scary recently, but I'm just looking for, like you said, some new cards that might spice up some of these classes and open up different archetypes, especially Rogue, like you mentioned, maybe some tempo archetypes, things like that.
That's right. So this brings us to kind of what we're here today about and revealing. We did send some clues. When we say we, of course, it's on behalf of Blizzard. People were seeing some people being invited to a party. There were members from all different expansions. We had a Neutron, Possessed Villager, Antonitis, Reno Jackson, Sylvanas, and a lot of people were doing some crazy stuff. They were doing some CSI, and zoom and enhance type of, investigations, trying to really figure it out. They were like taking the first letters of each name and trying to say like, what can we figure this out? I don't think that's anything to do with it, guys. And the thing is, even if you guys might have a clue what it is, when we saw what was happening, we were still taken by surprise. It's really exciting, and I can't wait to show you guys. But we still have to wait 9 more aggravating minutes.
I like the theory that we just are all brought here so that Ben Brode can reveal his unicorn priest deck.
Yeah.
That there wasn't going to be any new content, nothing. It was going to be Ben Brode. He just comes onto the stage, slaps down a piece of paper onto the table, and walks off.
And just basically him playing against the entire Chinese region, like climbing the ladder or playing tournaments of the priest deck.
Yeah.
I wish that was the case. I wish Blizzard could show you guys the way of the priest. Perhaps it's best kept under wraps, or maybe he doesn't exist. That's kind of the whole fun of it.
Yeah.
But one thing is for sure, they asked us specifically not to reveal any details before the official announcement. I know you guys are feeling a little antsy, but once again, just a few more minutes before we go live with the announcement. TJ, I'm trying to look at some of the favorite content pieces. What's been your favorite adventure or expansion so far leading up in Hearthstone?
I think it just gets better as it goes, Nax was great. Naxxramas Adventure was fantastic because it had so many powerful cards. It's one of the reasons why a lot of their cards were sort of meta-defining.
Maybe too powerful.
Maybe too powerful,
maybe
exactly.
a little bit too insane, if you think about it in hindsight, some of those cards. I was playing Wild yesterday with TJ, and I was like, why don't we try, make an old Patron Warrior deck? And we're like, why? We just have so many good cards. I have to cut some of these really insane cards.
Yeah.
And Fiery War Axe. I'm like, do I even play 2 of them anymore?
that question was ridiculous. Of course you play 2.
But I have so many War... I don't know. It just felt like I was so safe early game, I didn't really need it. But,
But then League of Explorers sort of... a lot of people were not very confident that League of Explorers would have any cards that fit into a meta. But it did, Reno Jackson, Sir Finley, Elise, and also just the mechanics. Even in just the solo play that League of Explorers brought. It brought some really cool and fun interactions against the different bosses in each of the wings. So not only am I looking for new cards, but also just new experiences within Hearthstone that are unique, because there is so much potential with a game like this to have more than just that multiplayer aspect.
I think one thing about Whispers of the Old Gods that really shone to me, or really stuck out to me, was not just how the new cards impacted the current metagame. You see Cthulhu and Yogg-Saron and N'Zoth being very strong as old gods themselves. But the one thing that also stuck out to me was helping the older content also see new light. You saw dragons that we never really played prior to Whispers of the Old Gods from Blackrock Mountain finding new homes and life inside of the metagame. You see Draconoid Crusher, for example, being played very regularly in the most powerful deck of Dragon Warriors. So that's really cool to me, and I want to see a lot of that. I want to see whatever is coming up here for the reveal, to be able to not only give us new cards to play with, but also to make us reevaluate some of the older cards. For example, another instance is the Grand Tournament. TGT, a lot of people felt like that expansion wasn't that impactful, but when we look at it now, we see we see a lot of the cards being utilized, not just Justicar Trueheart and Living Roots, but the actual potential being realized for Totem Golem and Thunderbluff Valiant. We were like, these cards are great, but they didn't actually impact that much when they're released.
Even if you think of cards like King's Elec, which was originally thought to be a powerful card, but eventually fell out. Now, even in just fringe case scenarios where the Yogg and Load deck, where you play Yogg-Saron plus all spells, King's Elec guarantees you win Joust because you have the Yogg-Saron.
There's only like 1 or 2 minions in your deck, so it feels like it's good. I mean, all these tools that were ignored prior to it because TGT felt neglected ended up becoming pretty staple. Like you see Druids always have to run Mulch now, for example. So I really want to see some of that. I want to be able to reevaluate some of the classic sets. Maybe we look at Standard and all of a sudden see more cards in TGT that are playable, or even Blackrock Mountain. Maybe even League of Explorers. There's a couple of cards in there that are always very interesting that I want to see more play of.
Yeah, I also just want to see some ridiculous cards. Some cards where you look at them and you're like, What were they thinking?
Yeah. And, you know, I'm really looking forward to it. Our pre-show actually is about to wrap up. I can't believe we've been talking for about 15 minutes already. But we're going to show you some video clips. And then in about 5 minutes, guys, we're going to have the reveal of what's coming up next here in Hearthstone. And we can't be more overjoyed to have Ben Brode here in China to reveal it. It's going to be a good time, TJ. When we saw the trailer alone, we just couldn't help but feel... It was just amazing. It made me laugh so hard, and you guys are going to enjoy it a lot. I know it for sure.
Yep, and the party theme is sort of in full force as well. I don't know if you can see, but we have like disco lights on our head because there's disco balls hanging from the ceiling.
There's a lot of wine bottles here.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like this kind of amounts to about half of a Twitch Hearthstone streamer's inventory after a good night of ladder session. Just joking, of course. You know, I think a lot of the press have come in here too. So many Chinese fans are super passionate about Hearthstone too. They're really excited about what's coming up here. They're kind of swarming it any kind of which way. Some people are kind of like looking at the curtains behind the scenes, trying to get a peek, and they get kicked out of the venue because they're being a little too nosy. I love it, man.
It's actually the speakers are like really loud. We're like sort of right next to them, and whenever something plays like the Hearthstone theme or something, you can feel the bass just kick in.
Yeah, sorry for yelling a little too loud into our mic because we're not sure exactly how the sound levels are.
And we're just excited.
We're also just really excited.
I just want to yell.
Yeah. All right, so that does it here for our pre-show. Hope you guys enjoy it. We'll see you guys in a couple of minutes after the reveal.
Have ye heard the rumblings? The mountain stirs once more. Beneath its crags, cliffs, and rocks, there's evil in its core. Fire made flesh, dragon's breath, teeth and claws and flame, calling any heroes out there that are brave. Or just insane. Black Rock Mountain, a Hearthstone adventure.
From east to west, heroes are set, seeking glory in the greatest of events. There are knights on noble steeds, those who will bring them to their knees. There are monsters to test their mettle at every turn. Legends will rise based on their merits. There's even pirates riding Paris. It's the grand tournament.
We've traversed the tombs of Naxxramas. We've climbed every cliff on Black Rock. Now the world cries out for heroes as a new evil rises. There will be danger. There will be doom. There will be ancient temples filled with relics, treasures, and traps. Who will answer the call?
Explorers lead, and we are in need of explorers. Adventure we seek, cross land and sea. Born to come and join us.
Woo! Yes!
Now I've got a tale to tell you of the ones from long ago. There's an evil that's been dreaming, but now it's softly screaming. From the darkness their power will grow. Their voices are made of poison. When you listen, you are sure to be disturbed. You can't lock your doors. You can't say your prayers. No creature can resist their wicked words. That's all just a story of the whispers of the old gods.
Welcome back, everybody, to the stream. Hope you guys enjoyed that trip down memory lane over every adventure and expansion that we've had so far. It's been quite a joyride. You just get to watch and like, wow, we've seen a lot of Hearthstone content in just a couple of years.
I know everybody, as soon as the Blackrock Mountain trailer started, the first one, they were probably thinking to themselves, oh my god, this looks so cool. And then they realized, oh, we've already seen this one. That's Blackrock Mountain.
Yeah. So right now, guys, what we're going to do is show you guys a little bit about what the convention is. We're here in Shanghai, China. There's a big event called China Joy. Really the biggest convention in China, which also features a lot of expos and games. And for a lot of people who are watching in the West, it's equivalent to the Gamescom or the Comic-Con, the E3. So we're going to show you a little bit around that, and then we have Ben Brode coming up on stage to reveal what's coming up next. But I think you guys got a real glimpse of it already. We're just hearing the music leading up into it. I was moving and grooving, man.
It's very thematic, yeah. It's super cool, and I don't know, it feels very Hearthstone to me. You know, it's something that only a game like Hearthstone can do and push those types of boundaries. So I'm really excited for everybody to see what's going to come.
Yeah, so this is our host. His name is Ali, I believe, or Ali. And he was able to stop around and interview some people and just like ask them about what's going on in the venue. And so you guys can listen to it.
来，兄弟姐妹们，一起让全球的暴雪玩家听到你们的声音。
All right, great. Wow, 现场这么多玩家 Great, you guys gonna be famous online. Cool.
好的，接下来让我们采访几位现场的观众，听听他们现在此时此刻的心情。
好的，龙哥。
我们有请第一位。你好，幸运的男孩。你好。好，我想问一下，你最近在玩我们暴雪哪几款游戏？我所有暴雪游戏都玩，暴雪死忠粉。看来是一位老司机啊。那你知道我们这次《炉石传说》的发布会发布什么内容吗？我就是因为这个事情而来的，但是具体什么内容我不是很清楚。龙哥，你能告诉我吗？问我啊，其实我也不知道啊。暴雪的保密工作一般做得很好。那么艾莉，你知道吗？
我也不知道，我在这工作了这么久，一点消息都没有。All right, let me just do a little translation here. That is Alone, one of the very famous game hosts here in China, and he's also in the China Joy, the biggest game event here in China. And he just interviewed the guy who spent all his time playing all kinds of pleasure games, and also spent a lot of money. I think probably as much as I do, a lot of money. All right, 好，龙哥，我们再采访几位怎么样？龙哥，现场我们再来采访几位，能听见吗？
好，我们接下来有请第二位幸运观众。
好的。
哇，是位妹子啊！哎，你好，你好，请问你玩《炉石传说》多长时间了？
大概有1年多了吧。
也是位老司机啊。那你平时喜欢玩什么模式呢？
竞技场玩的比较多一点。
竞技场拿过12胜吗？
有吧，10几20胜肯定有的。
哇，金色女玩家。
可以了。
天机，你上过传说吗？
传说的话好像有吧，有过一次吧。
上过传说是吧？
上过。
很巧，其实我有个小名，我就叫传说。好的，那么你玩的这么好，身边有没有其他玩家玩的比你更好的？
肯定有很多，然后男生偏多一点吧。 水平档次跟我就比我好那么一点点吧。
好的，那么我们也期待一下待会我们的发布会的新内容，好吗？
啊，非常期待，非常期待。
好的，艾莉。
好的，谢谢龙哥啊，果然又开始调戏美女了，很好，哈哈。那么刚才呢，我们采访的是一位女玩家 ，so we just interviewed a very very beautiful player, and actually she was really good. I mean, she dominated the arena, and she was like a legendary player. We can see that she is really well blessed with good skills of game playing. I think she's really good. She's much better than me. 好，龙哥，我们再来采访两位怎么样？龙哥。
好，接下来我们有请第3位采访。
好，
你好。很喜欢你，很喜欢你。
哦，你好，你好。感觉你比我还紧张。
我很紧张，我双帮手在哪里？
好的，那问一下，请问你对我们炉石传说的开发团队成员你了解吗？
我知道那个比比 Ben， 他其实我经常看到他视频，他家伙很搞笑。
很搞笑，你是他长相搞笑还是名字搞笑？
长相都挺搞笑的。
好的，那么如果有机会让你对我们炉石传说的开发成员说一句话的话，你会跟他说什么？
我好想希望他要他们的签名。如果有机会的话，能不能到暴雪去当游戏设计师？这是我的梦想。
不好意思，我们现场混进来一位应聘者啊。
太厉害了。
好，艾莉。
好，特别优秀。All right, so that guy admires Ben, and he thinks Ben is hilarious. I don't know why he said that. All right, I think he wants to say Ben is funny, and he also really wants the autograph from all our game designer, and also in the end, he really wants to be one of the game designer for Blizzard. I'm not sure if he can do that or not. If he can, I think it's a big day for him. All right, 我也想为暴雪工作啊，当然为暴雪爸爸工作发工资呢都是按卡包发的也不错。好，那我们来看一下。最后一位，龙哥，我们时间有限，我们最后再采访一位怎么样？
我们时间有限，请来我们最后一位的采访者来，有请。
好。
你好。好，那么还是那个问题，如果有一句话让你问一下我们的炉石传说开发成员的话，你最想发自内心的代表我们中国玩家说一句话，好吧？
我最想说的是，让我好好抱抱你。
啊？
我不知道艾莉会怎么翻译这句话。
哪个抱？
好的，这就是我们所有的采访，来交给艾莉。
Okay, all right. So the last guy, we asked him to say one thing to all those game designers here and representing all the Chinese players. And the one thing he want to say is he really want to give you guys a big hug for creating this game. That's really warm. 我们给他一个掌声可以吗？掌声感谢我们刚才这位非常可爱的玩家。Thank you.
He can say anything he wants to Ben and Gru, but
wants to give him a big hug.
All right, we enjoyed that little look into the China Joy convention. Hope you guys were enjoying those riveting interviews.
If you could say one thing to all the Blizzard Hearthstone designers, they're probably watching right now, so you can say it truthfully. What would it be?
4 mana. 7. Please welcome to the stage the president of NetEase. It's Ken. And he wants to just say some stuff and just chill with you guys and just welcome everybody who's tuned in to China.
特别的派对在今天这个派对里面，我们即将要公布炉石传说下一个冒险模式的一个内容这一次是历史上第一次暴雪在中国宣布一个新产品的一个内容，可以说是一个非常值得纪念的一个日期。那么重要的一个事情我交给我们的一个特别重要的一个嘉宾帮我们宣布这个事情，他就是炉石传说来自暴雪总部的炉石传说的首席设计师Ben Bro。
Now, please welcome to the stage.
Let me introduce our special guest, Ben Bro.
Greetings. Well met. Thanks for coming, and hello to everybody watching at home on the internet. My name is Ben Brode. I'm the lead designer on Hearthstone, and I'm super excited to talk to you guys today from China Joy about what's next for Hearthstone. This is the first time that we've ever done a Hearthstone announcement in the People's Republic of China. And actually, it's the first time we've ever done one outside the United States. So I'm really happy to be here, and while I'm here, I wanted to congratulate the People's Republic of China on winning the recent cross-region Gold Series Chinese versus European tournament. And I also wanted to, and I wanted to thank our incredible partners at NetEase for doing just an awesome job operating Hearthstone here. They've been really awesome to work with. All right, look, you guys have been kicking butt recently. You dominated the grand tournament. You stopped Rafam from stealing the Staff of Origination. And you withstood the whispers of the old gods. When you do stuff like that, people take notice. And now, you've been invited to the greatest party Azeroth has ever seen. This is a one-night-only event that people will be talking about for centuries. Anybody who's anybody will be there. Get ready for Hearthstone's newest adventure.
Your host, the great Magus Medivh, invites you back to party down with me.
Come inside, meet your friends at the door. We've got a feast like you've never seen before. Shake your stuff to our musical beat. Play life-size chess, but don't you dare cheat. Most of all, throw your worries away. Dive right in, you'll never be the same. This is a place of funky magical phenomena. Anything goes for one night in Karazhan.
One night in Karazhan. This is Karazhan reimagined. This is Karazhan from a simpler time. If you played through World of Warcraft's Karazhan, you might remember this epic banquet hall, or the iconic Karazhan Opera House. We wondered, what would these places have been like back when there were living people in them? Back when there were magnificent parties in this tower. Back when Azeroth's most powerful archmage was also its most eligible bachelor. Medivh is throwing the ultimate party, and he's enchanted every element of his tower for the big event. He's enchanted the silverware to do a little dance before each course. He's placed a magic mirror in the foyer to compliment his guests as they arrive. This party is going to be
legendary.
You arrive 1 hour before the party starts, and Medivh is missing. And the spells that he cast for the party have begun to unravel. You need to fix a tower gone mad, find Medivh, and save the party. The first floor of Karazhan is the parlor, where Morose will greet you and let you in early to help. The silverware has gone crazy, and some of it has glommed together into a silverware golem. He's a little too enthusiastic about serving dinner. The magic mirror that Medivh set up to compliment guests has started insulting them instead. What's up? And the chess set that Medivh set out has got a mind of its own. Now, in World of Warcraft, the chess event is one of the most iconic boss fights, and actually, One of the designers who worked on that event helped design this mission for Hearthstone as well. It took a lot of work, but I'm really proud of it, so I'll show you a video, and you'll see in this video the chess pieces attack automatically at the end of the turn, and they'll strike whatever minion is directly across from them. If there's two minions directly across, it'll hit them both. Here's what it looks like in game.
En passant.
So positioning is really important here.
If a piece is between two enemies, it will strike them both.
There's also a sneak peek at the new Karazhan board. So that's the first level of Karazhan where most of the party is set up. And here are some cards you'll earn for completing it. The Ivory Knight is a paladin minion with a unique take on the Discover mechanic. Now, instead of choosing the best spell, you might choose something like Anything Can Happen if you really need a big heal. The second level of Karazhan is the world-famous opera. Barnes runs the opera, and he's super excited about tonight's event. Barnes wants to run one last rehearsal, and he loves audience participation. So you'll have to help Barnes put on 3 great plays before he'll let you up through the tower. Act 1! The great love story of Romulo and Julianne.
Do you bite your thumb at us?
Act 2! The mysterious Big Bad Wolf. Run away. Act 3! You'll have to defeat the wicked crone with the help of Dorothy.
Oh my!
Now, Dorothy will give different powers to your minions depending on which side of Dorothy you play them on. Here's what that looks like in game. So you can choose to give your minions either charge or taunt. And you want to make sure at least some of your minions get taunt, because otherwise things could go badly. If you help Barnes put on those great plays, you'll be rewarded with these cards.
Teeth I have.
The Kindly Grandmother is a hunter card that's a little like the Haunted Creeper, in that it's a sticky minion for hunter decks that your opponent may not want to kill. Here's what the Big Bad Wolf looks like when it's revealed. And here's another new card, the legendary minion Barnes himself.
Tonight, a tale of terror.
This guy's crazy. He's basically a Yeti's worth of stats, and he summons an actor to play the role of a minion in your deck. Here's what it looks like in game.
Tonight, a tale of redemption.
Seems pretty good. All right, the third level of Karazhan is Medivh's prized menagerie. Creatures from all over the world are gathered and penned up here and tended to by the massive mechanical curator. Now, without Medivh, the curator's programming has gone haywire.
This curator is sorry.
Instead of keeping the creatures in their cages, he's just letting them loose. It's really just one flipped bit. You will have to reprogram the curator and he will help you wrangle the escaped creatures so you can move up through the tower. Creatures like Nightbane.
The dragon Nightbane, once called Arcanagos, uncontrolled magic warped his mind.
And this guy.
The demon Illhoof, most dangerous exhibit. Approach with caution.
If you can tidy up the menagerie with the curator's help, you'll earn his new legendary card.
The menagerie is for guests only.
If you thought Ancient of Lore was good, this is a 4/6 taunt that draws you 3 cards. Of course, you'll have to make a literal zoo deck to make use of him. The very top level of Karazhan is Medivh's private quarters. This is where Medivh opens portals to far-off lands. And the creature that helps control those portals is the fearsome dragon Netherspite.
My experiments. You are disturbing their delicate balance.
In World of Warcraft, portals opened all around Netherspite, and beams shot out of those portals, connecting with Netherspite and empowering him. Here's what that looks like in Hearthstone. My experiments. So those beams empower Netherspite, but you can play your own minions in the path of those beams to force them to empower your own minions instead. Now, Netherspite isn't alone at the top of this tower. Every good wizard's tower needs a curmudgeonly ghost, and the Shade of Iran haunts the top of Karazhan, preventing intruders from accessing Medivh's private experiments.
Party guests in the master's chambers. Keep out!
If you can make it past Iran, you'll have to use Karazhan's portals to find Medivh and save the party. Here's a great rogue card you'll earn as a party favor.
Need something unusual?
The Ethereal Peddler is pretty good for the cost. It's a 5/6 minion, but it'll also reduce the cost of any cards you may have burgled from your opponent. So this could be the start of a brand new type of rogue deck. One pretty cool thing we're doing for this adventure is actually you'll climb up the interface from the bottom, so it'll really give you the feeling of ascending the Tower of Karazhan. Here's something I'm really excited about. We're giving everybody a free prologue mission. Everybody will get access to this for free. You'll play as the Archmage Medivh, and you'll find out what happened to him before the party. You'll also earn 2 free cards. Here's the first of those. So this is a druid minion, and it's also a beast. So this could be the start of a new druid beast deck. Here's the other card you'll earn in the free prologue. Fireland's Portal is a mage spell that's a little reminiscent of Fire Elemental, in that it has an immediate impact on the board and summons a sizable minion to come with it. Here's some in-game footage. It's like ETC was hanging out inside the portal. One night in Karazhan is 45 incredible new cards, 13 bosses across 4 wings, and a prologue mission. And we'll be releasing Wings weekly starting in just 2 weeks. You buy the entire adventure during the first week of launch, you'll earn this awesome new card back. I love it. So groovy. Guys, that is one night in Karazhan. The team has been working so hard on this adventure, and we can't wait to explore this iconic tower with you in just a couple weeks. That's it from me. Thanks for watching from China Joy. You can come meet me in person at the Blizzard booth tomorrow at 11 a.m., and this stream will continue at 4:30 with the Gold Premier League later on. Thank you very much. Thanks for watching.
Thank you so much, Ben Brode, for that awesome reveal. One Night in Karazhan. That trailer had me in tears the first time I watched it, man. It was great. So great. I feel like as an expansion, that was personally made for me.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't want to be too egotistical,
especially the card back.
It feels good to be rewarded after all the years of service I gave Hearthstone and Blizzard, that they're just like, let's make an expansion. What would Frodan do if he was on the design team for just one day?
And that's exactly what he would do. Yeah, but the music, the theme, you could tell the music that we had earlier on there in the pre-show definitely fits. I was so surprised when they first showed us the trailer, but the smile could not leave my face. Just super cool stuff. I'm definitely looking forward to getting my hands on some of those cards.
Let's do some wrap-up thoughts here before we end the stream. There's no more reveal of cards or anything today, but as you guys got information, August 11th, it'll be coming out. You can buy the entire adventure the first week and get also an additional card back, which you guys showed, the disco ball thing. Pretty cool stuff. You get to show off your friends. Also get 2 free cards just for playing the prologue, which is a guaranteed free wing, essentially. Everyone knows that the first wing was free also back in Naxxramas. Very similar thing to that. Let's get some initial thoughts here from TJ. So what are some things you're really excited about? Why don't we just go in order? Starting off with Ivory Knight. 6 mana, 4/4 card. Paladin, discover a card, heal according to its cost.
Yeah, it's really interesting. The first things that shout out are the really expensive Paladin cards, because those can get you the most bang for your buck as far as the heal goes. Lay on Hands all of a sudden becomes heal 8 when you discover it with the Ivory Knight.
Heal 8 more.
And then heal 8 more and draw 3 cards when you get it. So the body, it's a 6 mana 4/4 with such a powerful effect. That's sort of where you'd expect it to be, but
it's pretty weak on the stat side. But you're not playing it in a deck where you're trying to get out to the board really fast. You're trying to play it for long-term value. So perhaps control Paladin styles would take it really slow. Get them the tool. It'd be really cool. The Kindly Grandmother. This card I think has the vote of my of the strongest card out of the ones revealed. A 2 mana 1/1 minion that summons a 3/2. Both are beasts, by the way, so they activate all of Hunter's activations, such as the Houndmaster and Kill command. So I have a feeling that this card will be very strong and immediately starts launching Hunter potentially back into the conversation of being one of the top classes, because one of the biggest things about Hunter is that his late game is so dominant, but its early game is very weak.
Needs a lot of help. Yeah, you look at Call the Wild, and you just need to get to that early game, and that's what there's vanilla 2 mana beasts that are 3/2s.
That's right.
This has just an extra 1/1 body attached to it, which is, I don't know, I think this is absurd.
It's absurd, but at the same time, it does require some activation and slow startup, which is ultimately what people want to see when it's a slower Hunter deck.
Yeah.
If it's a 3/2 that death rattles into a 1/1, then it's different. It's a much more aggressive card. This one is like a slow build-up. You have to activate it first, so it's a turn or 2 before you get that. Barnes, the legendary minion, I believe it's neutral. 4 mana 3/4, summons a 1/1 copy token that is a random minion in your deck. I think this card is really cool because it feels like you have a lot of build-arounds. However, I do get a feeling very similar to the Herald Village, where it feels not as consistent as you'd like it to be, even though it does kind of similar things with some of that 1/1 token.
Yeah, it has to be built around, that card. A deck has to be built around that card. You could play sort of a value deck where you run a lot of like Death Rattle minions and try and pull some Death Rattle minions out there, but the things that come to mind are making sure you get out an Emperor Thorsan from your deck, or maybe even a Malagos, even a 1/1 Malagos.
Powerful Death Rattles like Sylvanas would be great too.
Sure, yeah.
If you can do it, definitely want to build your deck very carefully when you consider this card, and if the activation does what you want, it's amazing. So you have to be very careful with how you construct your deck. But you look about cards like, what if it pulls out your Yashiraj? And it just summons another big dude and another big dude. And it's like, this is kind of crazy because remember, it's a copy of the minion. It's not the minion itself, so it stays in your deck.
And it's turn 4.
And it's turn 4, very early in the game. My favorite card, the Curator. 7 mana 4/6. Draw a Beast Dragon or Murloc. What's going on with
Beast Dragon and Murloc.
Right. From your deck.
From your deck, yeah.
Right, so you put them purposely into your deck. It's all different kinds of tribes. What's going on here, TJ?
I don't know. This is sort of one of those cards in the Priest that I was saying. The cards are like, what are they thinking making this card? But it's got some really interesting uses, and the stat line's actually okay. Ben Brode sort of made it similar to Ancient of Lore, he said, which used to be 7 mana 5/5 that draw 2 cards. Now it's a 7 mana 5/5 that draws 1 card. This draws 3 cards. Even though they have to be a Murloc, a Dragon, and a Beast, it's still drawing 3 cards.
Right.
That's a really powerful effect.
Yeah, you might make your deck oriented around Malygos as a dragon. Maybe you want it to be around Murloc synergies, or even just a Murloc like Sir Finley that you need to fish out of your deck so you can improve your hero power. A lot of possibilities. Eternal Peddler, the rogue card, 5 mana, 5/6, reduce the cards of other class cards. So it combines well with Undercity Huckster, the Grand Crusader, Burgle. So rogue gets some really fun tools. Is it enough to push it into conversation of being a viable deck, TJ?
I think we're going to need to see some more mechanics from Rogue that let them steal cards from other classes.
Be a thief class, finally.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, exactly. You know, we have, you said, Undercity Huckster. There's even Grand Crusader, which is a neutral card that gives you a Paladin card.
Nefarian, I believe, is another card that you can steal from your opponents. So I know Rogue players are still kind of going through an identity crisis, but experiment around and maybe you can get some really fun thief Rogue, or, you know, kind of like a thief deck that would be going. That's not a priest class.
Yeah, and it's a 5/6.
And it's a 5/6, so the stat line passes.
Yeah.
Let's take a look at the final 2 cards that you get for free. You get Enchanted Raven, a 1 mana 2/2 beast for Druid. Just very vanilla stats. Simple, but powerful.
I'm a sucker for those, just new, powerful vanilla cards. Like, what vanilla card could they make? It's a 1 mana 2/2. And I've experimented with some aggressive Beast Druid decks, and, you know, this is the Mark of Yasharaj, the 2 mana Druid spell that gives your Beast +2/+2 and draws a card. This is a perfect activation for that. You can use it very early on in the game. And you buff it up, make it a 4/4. That's got potential. I really like this card.
Yep, you look at Living Roots, very similar in stature. Living Roots has more flexibility, but it's not a beast. So perhaps this gives Beast Druid a little bit of an extra push, so that way you guys can see it more commonly played. And finally, the Firelands Portal, which, by the way, they didn't clarify on the thing, but there's going to be 5 total portals, very similar to the Forbidden spells that you saw in Whisper of the Old Gods. All of them are going to be doing very similar things to this portal. The Mage is a 7 mana DO5, summon a 5 cost card. Really cool stuff. Would love to talk more about it, but we're pretty much out of time to recap it. So you guys have to just wait for more. Once again, some of the really important details. August 11th is going to be the release. There's going to be a new game board, as you guys saw, with a theater, orbs, Medivh's pool of mana, aka the hot tub. There's going to be some new mechanics and stuff to take a look at. The 4 wings with the parlor, the opera, the menagerie, the spire. All going to be coming. Again, August 11th, 45 new cards, 13 missions, and 4 wings. Make sure you guys get your order in the first week so you can get that card back. But we're pretty much done here. So from Fran and TJ, thank you so much for watching. And hopefully we see you guys out there on the battlefield to go card slaying with us in just a couple of weeks. See you guys next time.